going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky, I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you guys are all well. Hopefully you guys had a great start to the week. I've got a bunch of good ones for you tonight. We're starting off with, our favorite Judge Bigen. And yeah, maybe one of the dumbest people that I watched all day. We're gonna keep it at that. Not the brightest person, the defendant. It's a good one. All right. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, it's more important that I hear you than whether or not I can see you. So if you just leave that phone channel open, we'll be fine. Matter of fact, because your phone's working, I'm going to remove you so that there won't be an echo with your audio pickup. And you can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a citation. This happened on May 21st of this year on I-196 there in Fillmore Township. This is a speeding citation on an actual 95 and a 70. However, a trooper only wrote you 1 to 5 over a limited access speeder. So, Mr. Apala, you are here on a 1 to 5 over speeding ticket to do one of 3 things. First is you could admit responsibility to the citation. Or 2, you could admit responsibility, but you'd like to provide some sort of explanation to court as to how or why this happened. Or 3, you wish to contest this citation. In other words, to fight this ticket at what we call informal hearing. What were you looking to do? Mr. Apollo, let me tell you something before you decide. The ticket that this trooper decided to give you is the ticket usually everybody is hoping to get, because it is the only speeding ticket that has 0 points. Do you know what I mean by points?
Yeah.
So 95 and a 70 is like 4-point ticket. He wrote you a 0-point ticket. The only penalty for going 1 to 5 over on limited access is the fines and costs. So you could contest the ticket if you want, and if I find you not guilty of any speeding, you would have no fine. But if you fought the ticket, we would have a hearing. The trooper could ask to amend it up to one that includes points, or at least to knock off. I probably wouldn't let him change the amount of speed, but I could certainly let him change the limited access nature of it, and you might get points. So I just want you to know before you decide what to do, you have the ticket right now that everybody is hoping their ticket gets changed to.
All right. So first off, thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate it. Member for 5 months. That's awesome. Also, MB, a member for 7 months. MB and Kelly, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. We've got the kind of the idea what's going on. He's driving 95 and a 70, got pulled over. The cop the police officer gave him a very generous ticket. So let's see what he decides to do.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. So what is it you would like to do here today? What were you looking to do?
Just give an explanation.
All right. And what is it you'd like to tell me?
I was just driving and there was like a hazard on the side of the road, and so I just drove around it. There was like a broken car in the middle of the road.
Okay. Well,
all around it.
I mean, a hazard in the road, I understand why that would make you drive around it, but that usually would make people drive slower, right? You don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of like traffic trying to get around.
All right. Well, the good news is, like I said, the trooper used his discretion to give you about well, it is actually the wimpiest speeding ticket he could give you. So right now, what you do on that is you owe $100 in fines and costs, but you get 0 points. You understand that?
Right.
So we're all set for what we need to do in court. You just need to call the court, make arrangements, to change that, to pay that fines and costs, all right?
I was just hoping to get the ticket maybe dropped, just because it wasn't me choosing to speed. I
Okay.
was driving the right speed, and then
Well, I can't drop your ticket. The trooper could drop your ticket, but it seems like he already dropped it way down. I'm not sure he's willing to drop it all together.
I think he'd understand if I was trying to drive the right speed, which
Well, but you were kind of failing miserably, right? You were going 95 and a 70 with a hazard on the road.
that's the speed I always drive at.
Well, then you're gonna get pulled over all the time.
I mean, you're going 95 and a 70. Well, that's the speed I always drive. I was trying to avoid a hazard. Look, the officer holds back his laughter as much as it can, but it comes out a few times.
You may not get pulled over for going
Oh, and thanks, Heather. Thanks for the gifted membership. And I didn't see who got it, but yeah, welcome to the family, Heather. Thank you.
78 and a 70, but you're gonna get pulled over every time by all law enforcement for 95 and a 70. That's 25 miles over the speed limit.
That was just the speed. I was trying to drive the correct speed.
Well, you failed miserably. The correct speed would be in the neighborhood of 70 miles an hour. You understand that, right?
Until that hazard.
But why would a hazard make it okay to be driving way faster? That doesn't make any sense at all.
That's just the speed it was at.
Well, that's the speed you were at. What do you mean it?
I was trying. I wasn't trying to drive fast. So I was trying to drive.
Carefully, because there was a hazard in the road?
Yeah.
And your careful speed was 25 miles over the speed limit? Matter of fact, if we keep talking, I might let this trooper amend the ticket up. You should stop asking for mercy. You got mercy. Any more mercy, and I would start to be offended by the discretion of the trooper. All right?
I was just giving my explanation.
I know, and you did, sir. But, you know, your explanation makes no sense.
It's just, sometimes it's unsafe to drive on the road.
Okay, do you know what else is unsafe? Driving 25 miles over the speed limit, even if there's nothing blocking your way. I just want you to leave this conversation understanding 95 and a 70 is not going to be okay. You're going to get pulled over every time you're going that fast. Maybe not over by Detroit. That's a little more acceptable over there.
Like, I've never had a speeding ticket.
All right.
And so that's why I just, like, I pride myself on, like, my clean record of driving.
All right.
And so that's why I just wanted,
Yeah, he's not going to have a clean driving record for very much longer. You know, he's already admitted that he always drives 95 and a 70. That's the speed he normally goes. Now, somebody said that he should claim dyslexia. I don't remember who said that. That actually makes a little bit of sense for what he's about to say at the end of this hearing, but I'm not going to spoil it.
I wanted to know that.
So we're all set for what we need to do here today for court. You just need to make arrangements to pay that fines and costs. You understand?
It's my understanding that it would also go on my record.
Yes.
But the officer could drop the ticket.
He could. Let's just ask him because he's been listening to me. Trooper, would you like to drop this ticket?
I think we're good with the 1 to 5 over, sir.
All right. So that's where we're at. We're stuck with the ticket 1 to 5 over. Now,
Kudos to him for actually asking the officer, though, because a lot of times the judge will say, I don't have any power over that. I can't change anything. All I can do is find you guilty or not guilty, or responsible or not responsible. But no one ever asked the officer. Some judges will ask the officer to do it for them and see what they think, but very rarely does a defendant ask the officer. So that was good on him. Sir Philip, thank you so much. Member for 5 months. That is awesome, Philip. It's good to see you tonight. I guess tomorrow in your language.
you could have a hearing where you say, I wasn't speeding, and we could have a hearing. You have a right to do that, but you chose to admit the responsibility to 1 to 5 over, just so we're clear on what your options are.
I think it wasn't fair in this situation.
Mimi, I have been trying to reach out to you for weeks now, and you keep ignoring me. No one's mad at you, Mimi. No one's mad at you. But it's really good to see you tonight.
I was trying to get over to drive, but right.
Okay. Would you like to have a hearing? Where I would have to decide whether or not you were in fact speeding? That's your only other option, really.
I wasn't speeding. I was just trying to drive safely.
Oh, boy. So you don't think going 95 and a 70 is speeding? You're going to make me have to have a hearing, and I'm going to let this trooper amend his ticket to what he's saying you were really doing, and then we'll have a hearing and I'll decide whether or not you were speeding. Because you telling me you weren't speeding is one thing. In other words, if you're telling me that you think you were going 70 miles an hour, that I don't want to put words in your mouth. We could have a hearing and that wouldn't be speeding. I'm just looking at the ticket right now. I have no testimony in front of me, but the ticket sure says that if the trooper was testifying, he would put your speed at well above 70, which is how we define the word speeding. So you can tell me if you don't think you were going faster than the speed limit, then certainly it's your right to have a hearing.
What kind of hearing would it be?
Literally an informal hearing. The trooper would tell me why it is he wrote you a ticket for speeding, and you would tell me why it is you don't think you were speeding. And then I would decide whether I think you were speeding or not. But I just want you to be clear. The definition of speeding means there's a speed limit, right? That's how fast you're allowed to go. And then there's how fast you were going. And if I find how fast you were going was above the speed limit that you're allowed to go, then you are speeding. That's what we'd have a hearing about. You understand?
Not if you're just trying to avoid the hazard at the road.
Okay, then you should have a hearing.
All right. Yeah, maybe I'll do the informal.
All right, then I cannot see you, but please raise your right hand the same way the trooper is going to raise his right hand.
Wow. He's going through with the hearing. He's already got a no-point ticket. A no-point ticket. It's going to go on his record, yes, but 0 points. Ah, man. What are you doing? This is when he needs a parent to smack in the back of the head.
Do you swear or affirm all the testimony you're about to testify to is true, is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yeah.
Trooper, you want to pick up the narrative? Oh, Mr. Opala, it makes a lot more sense for me to start with the trooper. He has the burden to establish why he issued you a citation in the first place. And then after that, it'll be your opportunity to either ask questions or testify on your own behalf. Does that make sense?
All right.
All right. So, Trooper, if you could please pick up the narrative and explain why it is you issued this citation.
Yes, sir. As we were talking about on May 21st, 2024, I began my shift at approximately 6 a.m., checking my moving radar in. There was no functions. All lights were functioning. And I also did a speed check as I was driving, observing that it was matching my patrol vehicle speed. So again, moving forward to approximately 7:11 a.m., I was on patrol, actively doing speed enforcement in the area of US 31 and 196. I was facing southbound, which is technically looking at eastbound 196 traffic. At that time on my moving radar, I initially observed a speed on my radar of 95 miles per hour. It was earlier in the morning and it was cloudy. And I observed a vehicle at a high rate of speed in the right lane heading eastbound 196 in my direction. I observed that it was faster than all other traffic in the area, as I could observe it pulling away from all the other vehicles behind it. I observed it to be a black Nissan truck. And I had at that time, that 95, I received a matching tone off my radar indicating that it was indeed a correct read. Additionally, my vehicle speed was matching up with my patrol car at that time as well, indicating that it was a strong and correct read as well. At that time, I observed the vehicle pass my location. I took a median turn and got behind it, performing a traffic stop. Again, at that venue of eastbound 196 near the US 31 split, Fillmore Township, County of Allegan. I made contact with a sole occupant and driver who was identified with his Michigan driver's license, Michael Apala. I don't have any notes as far as his statements regarding speed. That being said, I do have notes that he just stated he was coming from Berrien Springs and he was going to a Jamba Juice at an unknown mall in Grand Rapids. Again, I don't know if he made any confession statements on that time, but again, my testimony testifies to that speed. The vehicle is identified as a 2012 Nissan Frontier pickup truck, black in color. I believe.
All right, Mr. Apollo, what is it you'd like to tell me?
Yeah, I just think that it wasn't safe to be driving right there. I was trying to drive quick and safe. I agree that's in my opinion.
Okay, I have a question for you, Mr. Apollo. In what universe is it safer for you to drive faster than slower?
Yes, I am still taking the LSAT. It's probably going to be, say, in the October-ish area. I would say October, November is when I'm going to end up taking it. There's a couple reasons for why I can't take it immediately, but I've talked to a few people about how to go about taking it. So yeah, we're a couple months away, but it's definitely happening.
When it's not your decision, when you're put in that situation and you try to drive safely.
Okay, so you have a ticket here that's accusing you of going faster than the posted 70 miles an hour. How fast is it that you think you were going?
I was just trying to drive back to the slow lane.
Okay, that's not really an answer to my question. You heard the trooper testify that by his radar, you're going 95. How fast is it that you think you were going if you don't think you were speeding?
I was driving like 60 miles an hour.
Oh, so you were going 10 miles under the speed limit?
Right.
Oh, all right. I didn't realize that you were contesting that you were speeding. So do you think, okay, so you were saying you were going 10 miles under the speed limit, you think?
Right.
All right.
I was driving 67.
All right. And so for that, I'm going to go back to the trooper then, because there's you understand it'd be very difficult.
See, now you see where he's coming from. I don't think there's something wrong. He either wasn't paying attention or he doesn't understand what's going on. Because after all of the arguments that he was agreeing to about driving 25 over, he's now saying he was going 60. So something's not adding up here. Something, yeah, I don't know.
For him to be saying 95 and you to be saying 60, that's not really physically possible. So Trooper, how is it that we're going to confirm here that the vehicle that Mr. Apollo was driving is in fact the car that you pulled over? Mr. Apollo says he's going 60 miles an hour. I think you said the first thing that drew your attention to the vehicle was a visual of a high rate of speed?
Yes, sir. It was visually the fastest vehicle. There were no other vehicles that were going faster than his vehicle. The way my radar works, with a strong read, it was the closest one with no vehicles between us. It's the way it works is it's going to grab that car, and as soon as he passed, he dropped off of my radar range. In other words, the cone confirmed basically as he went past it, that speed dropped off, indicating that it was that vehicle. I never lost sight of it. I turned behind it and performed my traffic stop.
And I think you said it, but I'm going to ask you, did
Yes.
you ever lose sight of the vehicle that you intended to pull over?
To my knowledge, I turned immediately. As soon as he did it, without watching my video, I'm a little caught. I do not believe in any way that I ever lost sight of him. I knew he was speeding. I knew I wanted to stop him. As soon as he passed my location, I was at that split or the turnaround just south of the split, and I took it immediately and got behind him, and I stopped him very quickly. So I would testify that I did not lose sight of him in any way.
And do you recall anything on the road as far as a hazard or what he's referring to as some sort of thing that he had to try to avoid?
I have no knowledge of that. And I also have no recollection throughout our traffic stop of any conversation related to an object. We talked about where he was going, kind of some of the reason for speed. It didn't make, again, even in the moment that day, it didn't really make sense what he had going on. But I had no memory of any objects that would be moving around. And I also, not that it pertains, but I also agree, I don't know how that would, an object would cause speed to increase instead of decrease.
And did you have any problems with your radar after this citation?
No, sir. It was checked in at the beginning and end of my shift, documented on my daily that it was at no point throughout the day did I have any issues. Matter of fact, it's a newly issued radar that I've had put in. I had no issues throughout my day.
And so, Mr. Apollo, I would find you responsible on the 1 to 5 over on, I'm actually going to amend it to 257.627. It's the same fine, it's $100, but I'm going to take the limited access away. Therefore, he's appraised of the speed he was going and just not the benefit of limited access. So, Mr. Apollo, you do still owe the $100 we talked about, but now your rights change a little bit. Because you had a contested hearing, you would have a right to say, I don't agree with what just happened there. I want to go to formal hearing. Formal hearing is in front of the district court judges with the prosecutor's office. But in order for you to go to formal hearing, you would have to do two things. First is you would have to ask for that within 7 days of today's date. After that 1 week window, your opportunity to contest this further closes. And secondly, you would have to come in and ask for that because you would have to post a cash bond in the same amount as the fine. Do you understand your rights on appeal? All right. Then we're all set for what we needed to do here today, sir. I'm going to go ahead and release you. Thank you. Trooper, you're all set. Thank you.
All right. So that just happened. Yeah. Like I said, he might be the smartest person I've seen all day. Oh, man. Oh, man. That was the second time I watched that. Well, third time I watched that through. I don't think he ever once confirmed he was driving 25 over. He just said, kept saying, okay. I don't know. So maybe it's so weird. So weird. I don't understand. All right, let's move on. I'm going to be thinking about that clip the rest of the day. Let's move on. What do we have next?
Sham
Oh, Judge Washington. Let's go.
case numbers 21S396659.
Oh, this is the points lady. This is the lady that kept saying, but is there any way I can get the points taken off? Judge Washington, no, there's not. But is there any way I can get the points taken off? No, there's not. But what about the points? Can I get those taken off? She kept saying it over and over again. This is that lady.
What? What, Trevor? What is so important right now?
Ma'am, what is going on in your household with all that noise in the background?
Okay.
Both. It's both. You can call me either one.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Let me let you finish calling the cases. I was just going to say that Ms. Kasham is supposed to be in person today, but let me let you finish.
21W002620, 22W001931.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Paul Barnett on behalf of the township.
Ma'am, please state your name. Ma'am, please state your name.
I'm Al Kasham.
Thank you. I did say in person. Ms. Kasham, why are you not here?
I don't have any transportation and I'm all the way on the other side of Novi.
You don't get to just choose.
I know, but there was no other choice of I didn't have any other choice.
You know what happens when you don't show up to court?
No.
A bench warrant issues.
I know, but I'm trying to see if I can do it through Zoom.
I already told you that I wanted you to do it in person.
I understand, but there's no way of me getting there. I'm
Well,
requesting.
the police can help you to get here.
And Your Honor, I know I did this last time with Ms. Kasham's OWI case, which it looks like she has since been arraigned on. We have a new warrant request for, looks like Uttering and Publishing out of Ann Arbor. The fifth date is April 12th, 2024. So Ms. Kasham will likely have a warrant issuing for that as well.
What is it for?
It's not authorized yet. Fraudulent checks, basically. So just.
Oh yeah, I had gone back to.
Don't.
Okay.
I love Miss McDuffie. Nope. She's the prosecutor telling her not to talk. But there's also no defense attorney right now. I guess she doesn't have one. But yeah, good job on McDuffie for like, nope, don't. Even gave her the hand signal for stop talking.
I'm not on speaker to defend myself.
Ma'am, what she's trying to do is protect you from yourself. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Okay.
Mr. Shell made any payments?
I haven't had any income in the past 3 months, Your Honor. Like, I tried, but honestly I couldn't because I haven't had a car. My license been removed. I haven't been getting to work lately and it's been a hassle.
Mr. Sham, the only reason I'm not issuing a bench warrant this time is because these are for failure to pay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
August 6, 2024 at 10 a.m. I'm writing in person and bench warrant to issue if you don't show again for contempt.
Okay, so I have to be in person?
Yep.
What if I can't get a ride or transportation to court?
I just told you what happens if you don't.
What happened?
When you get off the call, review this conversation. I'm sure you can figure it out. Have a good day.
Yeah, you can't make this up. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to let it play.
Yes,
It's over now. Yeah, you can't make that up. What will happen? I just told you what will happen. But what will happen? Oh, and by the way, can I get the points taken off of my license, please? Oh man, that lady. All right, next one. I think the next one's another short one.
Looks like this is a writ of re-entry for a
Oh,
Devin
yeah.
Perry.
This one's special.
Is there a Devin Perry?
I'm Logan Mayfield, the other party.
Okay,
Well,
Nicole Mayfield, all right. Is there a Devin Perry? Last call. All right, so Miss Mayfield, have you
ma'am.
had any contact with Miss Perry?
So she only contacted me about showing up to come grab her things, but all she has is clothes here and a TV. I was able to try to give her that opportunity, but I told her to just pay for damages that she did to my house, and she agreed to it. And then I didn't hear from her, and then I got a court meeting, and I work night shift at Caterpillar, so I have not seen anything. She basically told me that I was supposed to expect something for like a medical bill that she was trying to send to my house, and then I got subpoenaed for court, so, or whatever this is.
Okay, well, this is a writ of re-entry, her trying to get back into the house. So,
I do not wish to have her inside of my home. It's literally my own home. It has my name attached to it, and solely mine. And I found like drug paraphernalia in here. She put Nair into my shampoo. Like at this point, I'm going to get a restraining order because it's violent towards me.
okay, so Miss Mayfield, is our landlord,
She put Nair in her shampoo. I'm just saying that's evil. That is evil. Have you considered hosting by special appearance and a beneficiary? All rights reserved of living man. Only if I'm allowed to stand on my own 2 feet, underneath the record, on top of the record, and all around the record. That's the only way I'll actually consider it. Yeah, I am the living man. So if you're willing to accommodate that, yes, I'll definitely do that.
tenant relationship? Is there any lease or anything that is?
There's no relationship between us. Like she told me a story about something that had happened to her, and then I reached out to all of the friends to kind of get the story connected, and everyone had a different story. Everyone found out she was lying to everyone, and it was just to kind of make her way through life, pretty much. I
Okay.
was just trying to help her out.
All right, so Miss Mayfield, I can't address any issues without Miss Perry. So right now, the case is going to be dissolved. Both parties have been summoned, and Miss Perry's the one that initiated the case, and she is not present. So I'm gonna go ahead and dismiss. Miss Perry, is that you? You need to say something. I can't hear you. You need to connect to your audio. Okay, Miss Mayfield, give me 1 minute. I think she's having technical difficulties, so give me 1 minute. I don't know. Is that her? Miss Mayfield?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I can't
all right.
see anything.
Okay, give me 1 minute.
Judge, we were having technical difficulties. We kept hitting on mute and it wouldn't take it off the mute.
Okay, give me 1 minute. Michael
So-
and Anna Latosky versus.
It wasn't her. She never showed up. Yeah, that's just in there because Nair in the shampoo. Man. But yeah, I see what you're saying, Jedi. I don't know what Nair smells like, so I couldn't tell you. I just know what it does. And it just sounds awful. Yeah, I mean, I guess you would smell the shampoo. I generally don't smell the shampoo till after it's in my hair, though. It's not like I put it on my hands and then smell it and then put it in my hair. It's just put it in your hair and that's when you start smelling it. It's like the same action type thing. I don't know. All right. Let's move on.
Yes, I did.
Did you understand
Oh, this lady's just full of excuses. She's got a lot of them, and she says every one of her excuses about 10 times.
your rights?
Yes, I did.
Okay, do you have any questions about your rights?
No, I don't.
Ms. Robertson, would you like to speak with an attorney from Lakeshore Legal or for the attorney for your landlord?
I don't know. I just got a lot going on, Judge. I got
bankruptcy going on. I lost my job. My son died. I just got a lot going on. So I don't even know about this process. I want to give the landlord his property. I've been trying to find a place. I was waiting on a place to give me approval right now. I just, I had gotten married. My husband ended up being a narcissist. He just left me in the midst of, like I said, my son dying. I had to end up filing bankruptcy. I lost my medical, just everything. It's just like a lot just went on at one time. And so I was paying my rent on time every month. But when he left, I had lost my job before he had left. And he just left. And so I wasn't able to pay the rent. But I filed bankruptcy. And so yeah, I'm just waiting on approval for a place. I want to give my landlord his place because I haven't had any problems since I've been here.
She has a lot going on. You know what she doesn't have a lot going on is, though? Spaces. Taking breaths between sentences. I don't think she took one breath for the last minute and a half that she was rambling.
Okay, ma'am, I'm sorry.
I've got a good idea. She can just hang out with me for a little bit. She'll learn how to pause.
Sorry, for your circumstances. This is a termination of tenancy case. And
Right.
your landlord's requesting that you vacate that property.
Correct.
So you are present today. We've adjourned this previously. Do you want to speak with someone for Lakeshore Legal to see if they can assist you? Do you want to talk to the attorney for the landlord?
I could talk to somebody from Lakeshore. Ma'am, I don't even know what to do. Your Honor, I apologize. I really don't know what to do. Like I said, I'm going through so much. I got a bankruptcy case going. I have everything going on right now that I don't even know what to do. But like I said, I want to give my landlord his property because we've had no problems other than once my husband left, I couldn't pay the rent. Other than that, it's been no,
Well, that's
problem.
a big problem in a landlord-tenant case, ma'am. It's the biggest problem, not paying rent on a property that you're residing in. And I respect your circumstances, but you understand, the biggest problem you could possibly have with your landlord is not paying rent, right?
Correct.
That's what they want. That's the deal.
Correct.
You get a place to
Correct.
stay, they give money. So,
Correct.
you can talk to Lakeshore to see if there's any sort of assistance that you qualify for, or you can speak with the attorney that represents the landlord to see if you can agree on some sort of date to vacate the property. We can adjourn this for 14 days so you can apply for rental assistance. There are options.
Okay, I just didn't know, Your Honor, and I didn't mean it like that about no problem.
Yes. I'm just trying to get you through this, Miss Robertson. I understand you have a lot going on. You have a landlord. He wants his property back. So we've got to come to, at some point, there's got to be some sort of agreement regardless of circumstances, right?
Correct.
So, I gave you a few options there. This would, if I adjourn this 14 days, that will be the last adjournment on this case. And it looks like the prior adjournment was not a first to second hearing. It was an adjournment because of the scheduling at the court.
Correct.
All right, so I'm giving you the 14-day adjournment. If you're going to apply for rental assistance or any sort of assistance, you must provide paperwork to the court showing that you applied for assistance. There's also a form 539, DC 539, that you must fill out and submit to the court. And those must be received by the court within 5 days.
Okay, ma'am, how would I get that?
You can come up to the court and get it. You can literally go on the internet and type in DC 539 and it will pop up. When you received your information from the court, your summons and complaint, in it was paperwork that provided you with all types of resources for legal assistance and rental assistance. So you should have all of that available to you right now.
Yes, I did contact DHS, but they didn't give me enough for the, to help me with the rental assistance, because what they really gave me was something like stating that they would give me so much like to move to another place, but I hadn't, I've been trying to find another place, Your Honor. That's really what I've been trying to do, so I could give my landlord his property, to be
All
honest.
right, we'll be back June 27th at 10:30 a.m. for the final hearing on this case. We'll hold our trial that day.
Thank you.
All right, we are all set.
All right, all right. Kelly, I didn't shout you out. I'm so sorry. I did not shout you out. Member for 4 months. Thank you so much, Kelly. I'm happy you're proud to be here. I am proud that you're here as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, my email keeps going off in these videos. Yeah, I don't like it. Every time I get an email, I'm like, yeah, PayPal. Nope, not a PayPal. Gets me excited every single time. And then I get it just goes off too many times. Anyways, next clip. Let's go. Oh, here we go. This is a sob sit. This one's an interesting sob sit. I know some of you have probably seen this already. I hope not all of you have, but it's good enough to watch again.
And gentlemen, we're going to try this again. What's your name, sir?
Ready?
Yes, sir. You, sir.
Sir.
Mr. Reagan.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, Mr. Thompson wants to get a very large bond and not get released.
Just trying to figure out how could I need the prosecution to bring forth how could I be charged with not identifying myself with fingerprints if I didn't have a charge to even identify to begin with.
Yeah, so Mr. Thompson,
What's the purpose of me identifying the fingerprint?
Mr. Reagan?
Yes, I'm just saying, Mr. Thompson, judge, does not want to give his full name. I know that we have a complaint here as to John Thompson for refusal to fingerprint. He's refusing to fingerprint. That's why we are before this honorable court this morning.
Yes, that's against my constitutional right, though. I don't have to do that. I don't have to enter into a contract. I don't have a legal name. I don't have a legal name with the state. That's against my constitutional right. All statutes are not law.
We've heard you enough, sir. We've heard you enough. Mr. Reagan, is it
Yes, sir. I've advised Mr. Thompson of his constitutional rights, of the charges and maximum penalty. I can just tell you, Judge, that the complaint I have is for Deshaun Thompson, and I have spoken with Deshaun. He has not, given me his last name. I don't know, they have him in custody. All I can tell this court is that's where we are at this point, Your Honor. I can just tell you what we've done to this, where we are, and that's where we are, Your Honor.
All right, well, the court will proceed as if this is Mr. Thompson. It's unfortunate that he's taken the position that he's taken, but we'll do this anyway. So you've got some tickets, sir, where you missed some court dates. When you miss those dates, the judge issued an arrest warrant for you. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and if you cannot afford an attorney, the court will provide one for you. You've got several matters, traffic matters here, and they start with ticket P 1387200, charge of driver's license never acquired. P 1387498, open alcohol in a motor vehicle as a driver. And ticket 432813, no operator's license on person, no insurance, misdemeanor, and unregistered motor vehicle. These are all misdemeanor charges. Maximum penalty you face on each is up to 93 days in jail and or $500 fine. I'm going to set aside the arrest warrants, enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and give you a personal bond. Your next court date is a pretrial July 15 in front of Judge Garrett here in 36th District Court. Your other matter with us today is case 24044903, State of Michigan versus Deshaun Santo Thompson, counsel.
Thanks, Magistrate. Good afternoon, Steve Benson for the people, Peace 71917.
Judge, I just want to point out that, this is a charge of refusal to fingerprint. There's no underlying charge. To talk about, so Judge Fulbright, on behalf of Thompson, we waive the false reading rights as to this particular case, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court will enter a not guilty plea on your client's behalf as to bond, beginning with Mr. Vincent, please.
Thanks, Magistrate. We're going to be asking for $10,000 in cash. We're also going to be asking for a tether as well as house arrest. The charge here is failure to provide fingerprints. So the defendant right there, allegedly, Judge, didn't want to have his identity confirmed one way or another. And now, interestingly enough, we have a defendant who's being charged with his failure to provide his identity in front of you right now, not even wanting to give Your Honor or the court his legal name, which gives the people pause, makes the people concerned that this defendant may be trying to hide something. Now, as a direct result of that, we feel as though this defendant is a danger and that he does pose a danger for obvious reasons. If somebody doesn't want to reveal who he actually is, either legally or through fingerprints. Now, with all of that being said, Judge, based on the court rule, dangerous.
That's against my constitutional right. I don't have to give you guys fingerprints. Every statute is not a law. If it's contrary to the Constitution, it's not a law. I can act with impunity.
Again,
So
Judge, more behavior that's giving the people pause. Now, in addition, I think he is trying to act as though he's a lawyer, understand the idea that statutes are not laws. It's very scary, and it really is. It makes him a danger to the community. And respectfully, Judge, we're going to be asking for that cash with monitoring.
And Judge, no assault has been committed. I do understand that there's a procedure for everything. Judge, I believe to the court, I'm not asking for any cash bond. I would ask for personal, Judge. I don't know how the court wishes to proceed in this matter. We obviously look to the court, Judge. It is what it is, Judge. We're here. And like I said, no assault has been committed. There's not even a charge outside of this refusal to fingerprint, Judge. So we obviously ask that he be released, Judge. With no charges pending. There's nothing he's been charged with, Judge. So that is our position, Judge.
Apparently their officers were trying to investigate some type of assault case, which was why he was in DDC in the first place. And now we've got this refusal of fingerprint case, and we've got a performance before the court, which is, I think, quite telling. So here are the conditions of bond. You must be fingerprinted before release. There will be a GPS tether. You'll be on house arrest on that tether should you post bond. Court agrees with the people that without confirmation of this gentleman's identity, there could be other significant implications. For that reason, court will set bond $100,000 cash for surety.
$100,000 bond.
Don't worry, buddy. I'm laughing right there with you. We're at you, kind of. But DDC, DDC is known for, you get a PR bond. You get a PR bond. Everybody gets a PR bond. Oh, you're not telling us your name? $100,000. Ah, I love it, though. I love it. Well, not that everyone gets a PR bond, but,
That's correct, sir.
Crazy.
So
now you're doing
gotta
things
give
out of
you-
spite.
I give you
Doing
bond
things out of spite.
redetermination,
You don't want to stick to the law.
sir. Now is not the time to talk.
You're not honoring your oath to the Constitution.
All right. So we'll have a bond redetermination hearing in front of Judge McConico on Thursday, June 20th. Court being closed on Wednesday. Further date will be a pretrial on July 29 in front of Judge Bryant here in 36th District Court. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Thanks, Magistrate.
So, Your Honor, you're not gonna honor your Constitution?
Thank you, sir. Your hearing's completed, sir.
For DDC.
Every statute
All right,
is now
D-
law. I don't have to give my fingerprints. The Constitution
Okay,
states
DD.
that.
All right,
Contrary-
DDC, we'll see you at
it's
2:30.
Contrary to Michigan Constitution.
Yeah. He just pulled Judge Bryant. That's going to be fun. Anyways. Yeah, Allie. I will double check with him tomorrow, but he said sometime this week. He's gonna pop back on so we can read all the super chats and the questions from last week. Maybe it'll end up being Thursday again. I don't know. But he said someday this week he'll let me know. All right. We're running kind of towards the end.
Versus Jalen Foster.
Back to Judge Washington and McDuffie. This guy isn't. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. Let's go.
22F00801.
Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Don V. Lieb on behalf of Mr. Foster. Mr. Foster, could you state your name, sir?
Jalen Foster.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Foster.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, last time on April 30th, the defendant was arraigned on a new VLP for driving while license suspended, no proof of insurance.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Foster will be pleading guilty to that violation today.
Mr. Foster, please raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, is it true that you were charged with, and I presume at this point, pled to some violation where you were driving with no license and had no proof of insurance in violation of the no criminal activity parts of your probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
I find that there's a factual basis for the plea, for the violation, and it's been willingly and knowingly made. Are you satisfied? Ms. McDuffie?
Your Honor, I am, but I'm sorry, I missed. What was the offense date for this?
Doesn't say on this report, but it's after he was put on probation.
Because he's previously pled to a no outside of Westland, and his latest report didn't mention it, so I was a little bit, I didn't know if this was the one he had already pled to earlier.
It's Westland 18th District Court?
Yes, he pled guilty, well, he pled guilty on, I think, the underlying actual case for that. I don't know actually which one it is, in November. And I hadn't heard of another one for him since.
That's a different one. That's November 7th.
Okay.
This is a different incident entirely. This is after the fact, and this is April 9th. This came up.
Oh, I see it. I see it. I'm so sorry, Your Honor. I was looking at the wrong report for a whole different person. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
So this was same court, just different ticket. I got it.
Are you satisfied, Mr. Lebo?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, as to sentencing.
Your Honor, we do ask that the court not file the recommendation. Mr. Foster, thank you, but he has complied with The other aspects of probation, including completing 70 hours of community service, proof of which was submitted to the court, I believe, yesterday. What he has told me is that he understands he shouldn't be driving without a license and that's a violation of the law and his probation. He tells me he was driving because he felt that he had to get to work to make money to survive. He realizes that he should have found an alternative way to get to work, but he tells me to focus on maintaining his income to pay his bills. I believe he's trying his best. He tells me he's trying his best. He did make a significant mistake by driving without a license, but I believe that jail time in this case would only serve to set Mr. Foster back and endanger the stability that he's trying to maintain. We would ask the court instead impose the sanction of community service.
Ms. McDuffie?
Now that I have the
That was a good argument. That was a good defense. Sometimes I feel Lebo just mails it in. I mean, he has a ton of clients on this docket on a daily basis. So sometimes I do feel that way, but I think he nailed it that time.
correct notes pulled up, I can see that Mr. Foster was told when he was sentenced back on June 20th of last year that he get one bite at the apple and that he was going to jail if he drank or missed a test again. Mr. Foster has been given multiple bites. We have barely a core left of that apple. He's been biting at it so many times because he's been given chance after chance. We had an extended conversation with Mr. Foster about the fact when he had his first two or his first violations, he had sober-link violations after that, or I think around that time he had I think he was spoken to at length about, we understood that he was young, but he has to make choices. The court, the people, nobody was trying to give up on him, but he was going to have to do what it took to comply with these things and not do that. So we've had this conversation before. And while it seems like driving with license suspended and et cetera are, not the most serious charges, don't forget about the underlying case we're here for, which is that this is a drunk driving case and he's still out there. And Mr. Foster cannot commit to just simply charging that as a consequence he's willing to take for what he feels like he has to do. You can't just continue to offend and keep driving with no license and just say, I'll pay that fine, I'll pay that ticket, but I have to do what I have to do. That's what we spoke to him about last fall. So we're here on the same thing. And I think that everybody's been trying to work with him, but if he's made a decision that he's going to just continue to do this, why jail has always been on the table for him specifically on this case for his violations that go way back. So I don't know why today is something different. I'm not asking for him to go to jail, but at the same time, I don't want to reinforce this behavior. So what do we do?
So what are you asking for, Ms. McDuffie?
I don't think community service is going to cut it. I don't think that the recommendation is out of line. And if it's excessive, or felt to be excessive, I guess, I'm sure that Mr. Foster thinks any jail time is excessive, maybe at least 5 days. 1 day in jail doesn't exist, because it just doesn't in our jail. I think 5 days should be enough to send a message. If Mr. Foster is concerned about getting to work, he should understand that he has a case that has a lot more days than just this.
Zoom user, please stop unmuting. If you're on mute again, you're going to be removed from the courtroom. All right, Mr. Foster, what would you like to say, sir?
I apologize to the court. I get my license reinstated on the 29th, so I parked my car. I'm not getting in it until I get my license back. I apologize. That's all I really have to say. I'm gonna let my attorney speak for me.
Anything else before I sentence your client?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
5 days in the Washington County Jail. When can you turn yourself in, sir?
Can you give me a couple, maybe a day or two, so I could try to get a leave of absence?
Of course. So you can turn yourself in by what are your work hours?
work Wednesday through Sunday, 7 in the morning to 5:30.
All right, so you can turn yourself in on June 17th?
June 17th. Yes, I could do that.
At 8 a.m. You can get a leave for the other 2 days.
All right.
And then I'll see you back here. On August 6th. If you haven't turned yourself in, then sir, I'm going to double that time. Okay?
All right.
So get it done. Probation
Yeah,
yes.
I have a question. I'm continued with probation after I'm done with the 5 days.
Yes, you are.
As soon as I pay that money, will I be discharged?
Let me see. You see, you were placed on probation on June 20th of 2023. Actually, yes. After you do that time and get discharged.
You say after I do the time?
Yes.
All right.
And pay the fine. Yes.
Okay.
So hopefully you'll have that done before you get back here on August 6th. Okay?
I will.
All right, thank you. If it's done, I think you won't have to be here.
All right.
State of Michigan versus Patrick Matata.
I know. Yeah, I got into that case. I've got mixed feelings on it. Should he go to jail? Yeah, he violated his probation multiple times, and he picked up another charge. So yeah, he should. I don't know though. Kind of on Denali Mike's side of that. Like I don't know what else you would do though. A sanction right at the end of probation. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we're moving to the last clip. This is a Judge Simpson clip. This is one of those random clips. I didn't know where to put it, so I just threw it at the end of a video. And yeah, we got a buff lift clip. It's only about 4 minutes long, so I am going to let this video play out. For anyone who hasn't heard me the last couple days, Judge Fleischer was on my channel last week. There was a lot of super chats and questions that we didn't get to because we ran out of time. He said that he would jump back on this week at some point to answer all those questions because I asked him if I could just send him an email and then read them off as I thanked everybody. So he said that he would just jump back on my channel and we'd go through everything. So that's why I haven't gone through the list. So hopefully no one's offended. I didn't forget about anybody, but I want to make sure, you know, all of your questions get asked that were in super chats. Also, my kids are going to be here next week, so I'll be taking a couple nights off. It's most likely going to be Monday, Tuesday. Could end up being Tuesday, Wednesday. Not really sure yet. I should find out tomorrow when the exact days are. So yeah. Okay, that's all I got. Now I'm just going to let this video play out. There's only about 4 minutes left. So let's go hang out on Discord after this. Until next time. Bye.
Yes.
Court does call the case of People versus Timothy Mashlick.
Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Maislick, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir. Thank you, Your Honor. Today is the date and time set for sentencing. We have reviewed the assessment as well as probation's recommendation. We would ask to briefly adopt the recommendation when appropriate, or not to address the recommendation when appropriate, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. We are asking that the court largely adopt probation's recommendation. However, we are respectfully requesting that instead of the additional 3-day jail time, that the court impose 30-day scram tether in the alternate. Mr. Maislick has been on bond since April 11th, 2 months as of yesterday. He has had no positive tests whatsoever on the SoberLink while on bond. He has been appearing in person for all his court proceedings. As to his recovery, he has currently been attending AA and has a sponsor through GrowthWorks. He also actually has an addiction therapist who not only he has therapy sessions with, but is also on call with him. So whenever he needs to, he can reach out to that therapist. He is concerned that although 3 days is relatively short, speaking, 3 days in jail could potentially negatively affect his recovery. He really has set himself up for success on his recovery and has been successful. And we are asking that the court consider allowing him to remain out of custody, not impose the 3-day jail, and impose a 30-day scram tether in the alternate. We understand that the court, and Mr. Maislik is very much prepared to be remanded.
The statute.
We do, Your Honor, but we would ask the court consider imposing the 30-day scram tether instead. But Mr. Maislik does understand that today he may be remanded for the 3 days. Other than that, we ask the court to adopt the recommendation.
Is there anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Nothing, Your Honor.
The court does acknowledge this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute, however, believes there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. The alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of intensive outpatient treatment, attendance at AA meetings, and abstinence from all intoxicants.
All right, I know I said I was going to let this play through, but Patrick, I watched every landlord-tenant case from around the time that she was supposed to come back, and I never saw her again. So I don't know if, it was just a dismissal and they didn't have to go back to court. I don't know. But I really wanted to see how her case went, and yeah, it's gone. Haven't seen her since. All right, now I'm going to let this video play out. You guys all have a great night. Until next time, bye.
Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and to monitor compliance with recommended treatment. Therefore, the sentence of the court, you are placed on probation for a period of 24 months. You're to pay $1,055 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, $720 probation oversight fees. When can you pay that, sir?
I request a payment plan, a monthly payment plan.
How much do you have today?
Can maybe get up $100 to pay.
$100 balance is arranged by probation on a payment plan. There's to be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to testing as requested by probation. You're to complete an intensive outpatient treatment program, including all aftercare recommendations with status reports to probation. You are to attend 2 AA meetings per week with monthly verification to probation. You're to provide proof of the victim's impact panel attendance to probation that has been completed. I will continue you on the SoberLink until proof of an intensive outpatient treatment program, the enrollment in that program is provided to probation. I will, consistent with the statute, order 365 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 2 that you have served. You are remanded to serve an additional 3 days, and then the balance of that is suspended. Defendant is remanded. Court does